Hey, friends, welcome back to another Math with Matson video. Today we are going to find the area of composite figures, like this beautiful thing right here. Now you might be thinking, that's cute. I'm going to have to learn like 50 new formulas to figure out whatever shape that is. Let me reassure you, I'm not teaching you any more formulas. We're going to use the formulas we know with trapezoids and rectangles and triangles and all of that to find these composite figures. In fact, composite literally means you're like putting things together. So let's look at this one and let me show you how we can break it up to make it a bit easier. Okay. Do you notice any shapes? Like easier shapes. You already know the formula of, yeah, you definitely do. You see a rectangle right here, don't you? And you know the formula for a rectangle. You know that a rectangle is base times height. So you're going to go 10 times 4, and you're going to get 40 square feet. Okay, so we're got our first part of our figure. That's 40 square feet. That means this is also 40 square feet. So, dude, we're like halfway done, right? Now, do you see any other shapes? Some of you might be like, hey, look, that is a trapezoid. And you would be exactly right. And you could go 1/2 base times height, base 1 plus base 1 times height, right? Or you might be like, I don't like trapezoids as much, but I do see that there is a square right here, and I do see some triangles right here. And you could do it that way as well. In fact, that's the way I'm going to do it. So with this square, I know that squares are also base times height, right? So I'm going to go 4 for my base right there. And then what is my height right there? If I look, I can see that that tells me my height is 4. So I'm going to go 4 times 4, and I'm going to get 16 square feet for that right there. Okay, the only thing that leaves us with is one of these, well, 2 of these triangles. They look like they are the exact same area, right? So what is the base of this? Well, down here, it says it is 4. So we're going to go 1/2 times 4 times, what's our height right here? Well, it's the same as the square. It's that 4 right there, isn't it? So 1/2 times 4 times 4, which will give you 8 square feet. So that's 8. That is 8. The last step is to just add it all up. Add up your 2 rectangles, your square, and your 2 triangles, and plug into your calculator if you'd like. I got 112. And because it's still area, we're going to label it square feet. Okay? So the goal today is to take these compound figures and simplify it into the shapes that you do see and then add it all up. That's the one strategy. I'll teach you a different strategy after we try this one together. Find the area of the figure. Let's start with this big triangle right here. So it's 1/2 times, what is this base? Well, it's the same as this rectangle, right? So let's go with 16 times 8. 8 times 8 is 64. We've got the triangle. Okay, and let's go with a little triangle right here. That would be 1/2 times 8 times, should I put 10? No. If you notice, that 10 is that diagonal. It's the hypotenuse. It's the brazens we don't want in our recipe, right? So I'm going to ignore the 10, and I'm going to make sure I get the true height. Even if it's not right there, I can come over here and see that, oh, hey, look, there's a 6 right there. So I'm going to make sure I use the 6 instead. Okay, that will give me 4 times 6, which is 24. square inches. And now all I have left is this rectangle, which is 16 times 6. 16 times 6 is 96. And the last step is to take the 96 and the 64 and the 24 and put them together all in a row. Add them all up, basically. And you get 184 square inches. Okay. Now, some of you want to do lesser amounts of work. Instead of doing the rectangle and the triangle, if you see a trapezoid with putting two shapes together, then go with that trapezoid. Be 1/2 times this base is 24 plus this base is 16. Times it by, what's your height again? Your height is 6 for that trapezoid. We are going to get, let's see if we get the same thing as what we did before. 24 plus 16 is 40. 1/2 times 40 times 6. Half of 40 is 20. 20 times 6 is 180. Nope. Go back. 20 times 6 would be 120. Okay, so if we add the 120, which was all of this, and the 64, we still end up with 184 square feet. Okay, so you get to choose what shapes you create. If you want to do easy rectangles and triangles, or if you want to add it all, like add them up and get a trapezoid, that is totally up to you. Okay, so that's the first strategy, is just take shapes and add them all together. The second strategy is to find the area of the composite figure using subtraction. So it says find the area of the composite figure. It's supposed to say that's shaded. So we only want this like funky green shaded part. It's like this is a wall and here we have a window. We need to find paint. We're not going to buy paint and cover the window, right? So there's some paint we don't need to buy. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to change this 1 foot to 12 inches. Just so we're all in the same measurement. Okay. Okay, so step 1 is I'm going to find the area of all of this, which would be this rectangular 12 times 6, which is 72 inches squared. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase just the part that has that hole in it, right? This square right here, I'm going to figure out what that is. And that is going to be 3 times 3, which is 9. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 9 up here, and I'm going to subtract it. Because it's the window, it doesn't need to be painted. That's going to give me 63 square inches. That's the amount of wall that needs to be painted. Okay, so if that's easier for you, rather than adding up a bunch of pieces together, is just take the whole big composite figure, find the area of that, and then subtract away if there's little holes. Like, let me give you another example. Can you see this, first of all? Is that in your way? I should not have done that. Sorry, guys. I'm hoping that's not in your way, though. 4 photographs, each measuring 8 inches by 10 inches, are pinned on a rectangular bulletin board measuring 20 inches by 24 inches. How much of the bulletin board is not covered by photos? So another helpful thing is to draw a picture. 4 photographs, 1, 2, 3, 4, each measuring 8 by 10, are pinned on a rectangular bulletin board measuring 20 by 24. How much of the bulletin board is not covered by photos? So this for me might be another example of where it's easier to find all of it and then take away the photographs. Okay, so all of it would be 20 times 24, which would be 480 square inches. Okay, and then let's take away, that would be 80, right? 10 times 8 is 80, so all of these are 80. 80 times 4 would be 320. So if I take away the 320, that's the photographs, that will leave me with 160 square inches that are still, that's not covered by the photographs. All right. So there's kind of two strategies there. I'm going to leave you off with this figure right here. I want to see if you can do it on your own. So you have a couple options. You can do that rectangle right there, and then do a triangle right there and a triangle right there, right? Two triangles. Or if you want to do this whole triangle right here, that's probably what I would do, because then I only have to find the area of two shapes, right? Okay, so let's start with the rectangle right here. That would be 14 times 8, which is 112. Okay, now let's go on to this triangle right here. Make it one big triangle. And we've got 1/2 times the 14 times, what is my base right here? Aha, this one gets even a little more trickier. Okay, I know that from here to here, it's 4. And then from here to here, it's another 4. But what is this right there? If I look, this matches up with that. So that would be 8. So for our base, we have 4 plus 8 plus 4, which would be 16, wouldn't it? So that whole base is 14, and that height is 16. So half of 14 is 7. 7 times 16 is 112. And then let's add up the rectangle with the triangle, and we get 224 inches squared. How did you do on that? Hopefully okay. Okay, so two strategies is cut up a composite figure into shapes that you know how to find the area of, or find the area of all of it and then subtract the shapes out that are not part of the composite figure. Good luck, guys.